May 1945. Nazi Germany has surrendered. The war in Europe is over. But in a military headquarters in occupied Bavaria, one final confrontation is about to take place. A captured German general demands to meet with the legendary George S. Patton, as equals. He wants respect. Professional courtesy. The treatment due to his rank. What he gets instead is a reality check that will echo through history. This is the true story of what happened when arrogance met accountability, when a Nazi officer demanded respect and Patton gave him the truth. To understand this confrontation, you need to understand the two men involved. General George S. Patton Jr. By May 1945, he's a living legend. His Third Army has torn through France faster than the Germans did in 1940. He relieved Bastogne. Crossed the Rhine. Driven deep into Germany with unstoppable momentum. But Patton isn't just a brilliant tactician. He's known for his contempt for Nazi ideology and his harsh treatment of SS officers. He's publicly stated that SS troops are criminals, not soldiers. German commanders fear him, not just for his military skills, but for his refusal to show mercy to those he considers war criminals. On the other side, General Major Kurt von Schellenberg. Born into Prussian nobility. Career officer since 1922. He commanded a panzer division on the Eastern Front and later in France. He wears his Knight's Cross with oak leaves proudly. He expects the deference due to a general officer. Von Schellenberg represents the old Prussian military aristocracy. He believes in the code. Officers, regardless of which side they fought on, share a bond of professional respect. He's about to learn that Patton doesn't honor that code. 3 days after Germany's surrender, Patton's headquarters receives an unusual communication. General Major von Schellenberg, being held at a POW processing center near Munich, requests a formal meeting with General Patton to discuss matters of mutual concern between officers of equal rank. The arrogance is breathtaking. Von Schellenberg seems to believe that despite Germany's total defeat, despite the Holocaust, despite 6 years of aggressive war, he's still entitled to meet with Patton as a professional equal. Patton's staff recommends ignoring the request. But Patton sees an opportunity. Patton surprises his staff by agreeing to meet von Schellenberg. But there will be conditions. The meeting will not be between equals. It will be in Patton's headquarters, at a time of Patton's choosing, and von Schellenberg will come as a prisoner, not as a visiting general. Patton orders that von Schellenberg be brought to headquarters the next morning. No special transportation. No honors. He would arrive in a standard prisoner transport truck. Let's see how much respect he demands when he's riding with enlisted prisoners, Patton says. May 12, 1945. Von Schellenberg arrives at Patton's headquarters. But not the way he expected. He's transported in a standard prisoner truck, packed with German enlisted POWs. No special treatment. No acknowledgement of rank. When the truck arrives, American MPs process him like any other prisoner. The MP sergeant says, board, name. Rank. Unit. Von Schellenberg, indignant, replies, I am General Major Kurt von Schellenberg. I have been summoned by General Patton. I expect, the sergeant interrupts, you're a prisoner. That's all you are. Now empty your pockets and stand over there. Von Schellenberg is searched. Documented. Photographed like a common criminal. His Knight's Cross. Just another piece of metal to be catalogued. His rank? Just a notation in paperwork. Then comes the waiting. Von Schellenberg is placed in a bare concrete room. No chair. No water. No courtesy. He stands there for 2 hours. When he protests, demanding to see Patton immediately, the guards ignore him. This is Patton's first lesson, your former rank means nothing here. You wait on my time. By the time von Schellenberg is finally brought to Patton's office, he's exhausted, frustrated, and his pride is already wounded. Perfect. Patton's office is set up for psychological warfare. He sits behind a massive desk, elevated slightly so he looks down at visitors. American and Third Army flags flank him. The walls are covered with maps showing the Third Army's unstoppable advance across Germany, a visual reminder of total German defeat. Von Schellenberg stands in the center of the room. No chair is offered. 2 armed MPs stand behind him. Patton doesn't look up immediately. He continues reading papers on his desk, making the German general wait. Finally, Patton looks up. Von Schellenberg begins formally, "General Patton, I am General Major Kurt von Schellenberg, formerly commanding the 19th Panzer Division. I request that we discuss." Patton cuts him off, "You're not a general. You're a prisoner. And you don't request anything. You answer questions when I ask them." Von Schellenberg bristles. He's never been spoken to this way. "General Patton, I expect to be treated with the respect due my rank and," Patton interrupts again, "Your rank? Your rank lost. My rank won. That's the only rank that matters now." The tension in the room is electric. This isn't going the way von Schellenberg expected at all. Patton stands and walks around his desk, stopping a few feet from von Schellenberg. "You want respect? Let me tell you about respect. Respect is earned. You and your army spent 6 years murdering civilians, destroying cities, and following a madman. You lost any claim to respect the day you swore loyalty to Hitler." Von Schellenberg tries to protest, "I was a soldier following orders." Patton's voice is like steel, "Don't. Every war criminal says that. You had choices. You made them. Now you face the consequences." Patton returns to his desk and picks up a folder. "Your 19th Panzer Division. Eastern Front, 1941 to 1943. Want me to read what my intelligence officers found?" Von Schellenberg goes pale. Patton reads, "Participation in anti-partisan operations involving civilian massacres. Villages burned. Populations executed. You commanded these operations, General Major." Von Schellenberg says weakly, "That was war. Anti-partisan operations were necessary." Patton replies, "No. That was murder. War is soldiers fighting soldiers. What you did was butchery. And you want me to respect you?" Patton continues, "My Third Army fought across France and Germany. We killed German soldiers when they fought us. But we didn't murder civilians. We didn't execute prisoners. We followed the laws of war." Von Schellenberg begins, "The Soviets committed atrocities too." Patton cuts him off, "The Soviets are savages responding to what you did to them first. But that's their problem. I'm talking about American conduct. We fought clean. You fought dirty. And now you want the treatment you never gave others." The reality is sinking in. This isn't a professional courtesy call between officers. This is judgment. Patton leans forward on his desk. "Here's your reality, General Major. You're not going home. You're not being released. You're going to a war crimes investigation. If they find sufficient evidence, and they will, you'll face trial. If convicted, you'll hang." Von Schellenberg's aristocratic composure cracks. "I am a soldier, not a criminal." Patton replies coldly, "You were both. The soldier part is why you're still alive. The criminal part is why you won't stay free. I demand to be treated under the Geneva Convention." Patton says, "You are. The Geneva Convention says we can investigate war crimes and prosecute accordingly. That's exactly what we're doing." Von Schellenberg's pride finally breaks. "General Patton. I have a wife and children in Bavaria. They have nothing. If I am imprisoned or executed, they will starve." Patton's expression doesn't soften one bit. "Should have thought of that before you joined the Nazi Party and participated in war crimes. Your family's welfare was your responsibility. You failed them when you made your choices. Have you no mercy? Von Schellenberg asks. Patton replies, I have exactly as much mercy as you showed Russian peasants. Which is to say, none. Brutal. But Patton believes in accountability. Actions have consequences. But then Patton says something unexpected. Something important. Let me tell you why this matters. Germany has lost 2 world wars in 30 years. Both times because you followed leaders who convinced you that might makes right. That Germans are superior. That you can ignore civilized norms. Von Schellenberg tries, we were defending our homeland, Patton interrupts, you were conquering. And you lost. Again. Now Germany is destroyed. Millions dead. Cities in rubble. And for what? Hitler's insane dreams? Von Schellenberg has no answer. Patton continues, this time, Germans need to learn a different lesson. You don't get to demand respect after losing. You earn it back by accepting responsibility and rebuilding with humility. There's a long silence. Then something shifts in von Schellenberg. The pretense crumbles. Von Schellenberg says quietly, you're right. I knew. Not everything, but enough. I told myself it was war. I told myself I was protecting Germany. I told myself that if I refused, someone worse would replace me. Patton responds, at least you're finally being honest. Yes, someone worse might have replaced you. Or someone better might have. You didn't try to find out because it was easier to follow orders. Von Schellenberg continues, I'm not a monster. Patton says, maybe not. But you enabled monsters. And now you face the consequences. Patton walks to the window, looking out at occupied Munich. You asked about respect. Here's how Germany earns it back. Accept responsibility. Stop making excuses. Rebuild as a decent nation that respects law and human rights. Von Schellenberg asks, under American occupation? Patton replies, better than Soviet occupation. And it's temporary. We don't want to rule Germany forever. We want Germany to rule itself, democratically, peacefully, decently. Patton turns back. What I want from German officers like you. First, honesty. Admit what you did. No more, just following orders. Own your actions. Second, cooperation. Help us document Nazi crimes. Testify about what you witnessed. Third, if you survive prison, spend your remaining years teaching young Germans not to follow your example. That's how you earn respect back. Von Schellenberg, after a pause, says, I'll cooperate. I'll testify. I'll accept responsibility. Patton responds, good. That doesn't erase what you did. You'll still face trial. But it's a start toward redemption. Von Schellenberg asks, will you speak on my behalf? Patton is firm, no. I'll confirm you cooperated, but I won't defend your actions. You'll stand or fall on your own merits. Von Schellenberg admits, that's fair. Patton says, it's more than fair. It's more than you deserve. But it's how we Americans operate. Patton sits on the edge of his desk. You came here demanding respect as a general. But, general, is just a rank. It's what you do with that rank that earns respect. I commanded troops in combat. So did you. The difference? I commanded them honorably. You commanded war crimes. Rank without honor is worthless. A private who fights with integrity deserves more respect than a general who commits atrocities. This is the core lesson Patton wants to teach, character matters more than rank. Defeat reveals who you really are. Patton stands, signaling the meeting is over. You got your audience. You demanded respect. Instead, you got reality. Understand the difference now? Von Schellenberg replies, yes, General. Patton continues, good. You'll be transported to a detention facility for war crimes investigation. Cooperate fully. Maybe you'll see your family again someday. Maybe not. That's up to the investigators and courts. Von Schellenberg says, almost reflexively, thank you for your time. Patton replies, don't thank me. Thank the fact that Americans believe in trials instead of summary execution. If you'd been captured by the Russians, you'd already be dead. Patton nods to the MPs, get him out of here. Von Schellenberg is escorted out. Patton doesn't watch him go. He's already back to work. The German general wasn't worth another second of his time. After von Schellenberg is removed, Patton's chief of staff asks, was that necessary, sir? Being so harsh? Patton answers, absolutely. These German officers need to understand that their defeat is total. No more, we were just soldiers excuses. No more appeals to professional courtesy. They need reality. The staff officer asks, do you think he learned anything? Patton replies, maybe. Probably not enough. But the word will spread among German POWs. They'll know that demanding respect from me gets them a lecture, not sympathy. The story of Patton and von Schellenberg illustrates a crucial truth: defeat reveals character. Von Schellenberg expected respect based on his former rank and status. Patton taught him that respect must be earned through actions, not demanded through titles. Patton's harsh treatment wasn't cruelty, it was accountability. He refused to let German officers hide behind excuses or appeal to military brotherhood. This approach sent a message that shaped post-war Germany: you don't get to demand respect after losing a war you started. You earn it back through humility, honesty, and changed behavior. The lesson resonates beyond 1945. Whether in war, business, or life, respect isn't owed. It's earned. Titles and rank are temporary. Character is permanent. Patton gave von Schellenberg reality instead of respect. And that reality was exactly what defeated Germany needed to hear.